In this video 5.4, we're going to be looking at percents and equations. By the end of the video and work time in class, you should be able to say, I can use equations to solve problems with percents. So in the previous lesson, we were solving problems with percents using proportions. Now we're going to look more at how to solve these problems with equations. A percent formula to use in creating our equation in these problems would be part, the part you're looking at, because we're always going to be dealing with a part to whole in these percent problems. Your part equals the percent as a decimal, important that you write it as a decimal, times the whole in that part to whole. So that formula will help us set these problems up. Some examples of part to whole would be sales tax is part of a whole total cost. Another example, tip. When you tip a waiter or waitress, the tip is part of the whole bill. Discount, if you find something on sale, that's part of a whole cost. Those are just a few examples of where we deal with parts to wholes, percentages, specifically with money. There's other examples that I'm sure you can think of we can talk about more in class. For example, when you get a score in a class and you get your part out of the whole total score that you can get when you're calculating your grade as a percentage. Example 1. What is 84% on a 25-point test? So we want to set up an equation. 84%, we have our percents. This is one part we know in our equation. In the 25-point test, now if we've got a part and a whole and we're looking at a 25-point test, that's going to be your whole. That would not be your part if you're looking for what part you got correct. So part is what we're looking for here. Part, I'm going to represent as x equals the percent as a decimal times the whole, which is 25. So using that formula, part equals percent as a decimal times the whole. So 0.84 times 25 gives you 21. So 21 questions would be answered correctly if you got 84% correct. 12 is 8% of what number? So we have 12 and we have the percentage. So 12 is, that isn't one of those other keywords that helps us see that that's the part. 12 is some part of a whole number, and that whole number is what we're looking for. That's the question. What's the whole number? 12 out of what is 8%? So using that percent formula, part equals percent as a decimal times the whole. In this case, that's what we're looking for. And so in algebra, to undo multiplication, we're going to divide. To get the x alone, we're going to divide by 0.08. So x equals 12 divided by 0.08. That gives us 150. So 12 out of 150 is 8%. 42 out of 90 is what percent? So obviously here we're looking for the percentage. And if we have 42 out of 90, 42 would be the part and 90 would be your whole. So using, once again, the percent formula, the part, 42, equals the percent as a decimal, which is what we're looking for. So I'm going to put P for percent, times the whole, which is 90. So to use our equality properties, divide both sides by 90 to get the P all alone. That simplifies to P. The percent is 42 divided by 90, and that ends up, we get a percentage of 46.6 repeating percent. So that would be our percentage, which is the same we know as 46 2/3%, or if you rounded it, 46.7%. Can you say I can use equations to solve problems with percents? Here's your output to work out in your notebook and be prepared with any questions for the work time in class.